Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. Rosa's day spa swung open. The husband's heart raced, a mixture of excitement and trepidation coursing through his veins. He'd dreamed of this moment for years, but never imagined it would actually come to fruition. Rosa greeted him with a warm smile, her dark eyes twinkling with anticipation. "Are you ready for your transformation, darling?" she asked, her voice low and filled with promise. He nodded, unable to find his voice. Rosa took his hand, leading him past the reception area and into the heart of the spa. The soft lighting and soothing music helped calm his nerves, but only slightly. "Mary will start with your hair and nails," Rosa explained, guiding him to a cushy salon chair. "Then Veronica will take care of your eyebrows and any unwanted body hair. Kim will handle your makeup and styling." Mary, a petite blonde with a pixie cut, approached with a wide grin. "So, we're going for a full femme look today?" she asked, running her fingers through his short brown hair. "Absolutely," Rosa answered for him. "We want him to be completely passable. No halfway measures." The husband's cheeks flushed, but he couldn't deny the thrill that ran through him at Rosa's words. This was really happening. Mary got to work, washing and conditioning his hair before applying a temporary color to darken it slightly. As she worked, she chatted amiably about the latest celebrity gossip, helping to put him at ease. "Now for the fun part," Mary said, holding up a long chestnut-colored wig. "This will blend seamlessly with your natural hair color, but give you those luscious locks you've always wanted." She carefully positioned the wig, trimming and styling it to frame his face perfectly. The husband caught glimpses of himself in the mirror, marveling at how such a simple change could make such a dramatic difference. While the styling product set, Mary moved on to his nails. She soaked, filed, and buffed them before applying a pale pink polish. "Nothing too flashy for your first time out," she explained with a wink. Rosa returned just as Mary was finishing up. She circled the chair, inspecting her husband's new look with a critical eye. "It's a good start," she mused, "but we've got a long way to go. Veronica's ready for you now." The husband followed Rosa to a private treatment room where Veronica, a statuesque brunette, waited with an array of waxing supplies. "Strip down to your underwear," Veronica instructed, her tone professional but kind. "We'll start with your chest and work our way down." The next hour was a blur of heat, pain, and the oddly satisfying sound of hair being ripped from his body. Veronica worked quickly and efficiently, removing every trace of masculinity from his skin. "You're handling this like a champ," Veronica praised as she moved to his legs. "Most men would be crying by now." "He's motivated," Rosa chimed in from her perch in the corner. "Aren't you, darling?" The husband nodded, gritting his teeth against the sting of the wax. The pain was worth it, he reminded himself. This was his chance to truly become the woman he'd always felt he was inside. After the waxing came the eyebrow shaping. Veronica wielded her tweezers with surgical precision, transforming his bushy brows into delicate arches that perfectly complemented his new hairstyle. "Time for makeup," Rosa announced, helping her husband off the treatment table. His skin felt raw and sensitive, but also incredibly smooth. He ran a hand down his leg, marveling at the silky texture. Kim, a bubbly redhead with an artist's eye for color, greeted them in the makeup room. "Oh, we've got a real beauty to work with here," she gushed, examining his face closely. "Those cheekbones are to die for." The makeup application was a lengthy process, involving layers of primer, foundation, concealer, and powder. Kim explained each step as she worked, offering tips and tricks for achieving a flawless look at home. "The key is blending," she said, using a fluffy brush to soften the edges of his eyeshadow. "You want everything to look seamless and natural." As Kim worked her magic, the husband's features began to soften and transform. His jawline appeared less angular, his eyes more prominent. With each stroke of the brush, he felt himself slipping further into his feminine persona. "Almost done," Kim announced, reaching for a tube of lipstick. "This shade will really make your lips pop." The cool touch of the lipstick was the final piece of the puzzle. As Kim stepped back to survey her handiwork, the husband caught sight of himself in the mirror and gasped. The person staring back at him was undeniably feminine, with smoky eyes, high cheekbones, and full, pouty lips. "What do you think?" Rosa asked, coming to stand behind him. Her eyes met his in the mirror, filled with pride and something else. Desire. I can't believe it's me," he whispered, reaching up to touch his face before remembering the freshly applied makeup. "Oh, we're not done yet," Rosa said with a laugh. "We still need to get you dressed." She led him to a dressing room where an array of feminine clothing awaited. Silky lingerie, form-fitting dresses, and sky-high heels were laid out like an all-you-can-eat buffet of femininity. "I took the liberty of selecting a few options," Rosa explained, holding up a royal blue wrap dress. "This one will really bring out your eyes." With Rosa's help, the husband slipped into the soft, clingy fabric. The dress hugged his body, accentuating the waist trainer he'd been given to create a more feminine silhouette. "Now for the finishing touch," Rosa said, kneeling down with a pair of black stilettos. "These might take some getting used to, but they'll make your legs look a mile long." The husband wobbled as he stood in the heels, grabbing Rosa's arm for support. She steadied him, her touch sending shivers down his spine. "Take a few steps," she encouraged, "heel to toe like you're walking on a tightrope." He did as instructed, focusing on maintaining his balance. After a few wobbly attempts, he began to find his rhythm, hips swaying naturally as he moved. "That's it," Rosa praised. "You're a natural." They made their way back to the main area of the spa, where Mary, Veronica, and Kim waited eagerly. The three women broke into applause as the husband entered, causing him to blush furiously beneath his makeup. "You look absolutely stunning," Mary gushed, circling him to take in the full effect. "A true transformation," Veronica agreed with a nod of approval. Kim clapped her hands excitedly. "I knew you'd be gorgeous, but this is beyond my wildest expectations." The husband basked in their praise, feeling more confident and beautiful than he ever had before. He turned to Rosa, seeking her reaction. His wife's eyes were shining with unshed tears. "You're perfect," she whispered, reaching out to caress his cheek. "Everything I imagined and more." The tender moment was interrupted by the chiming of the spa's front door. Rosa quickly composed herself, smoothing down her skirt. "That'll be our dinner reservation," she explained. "Are you ready for your debut?" The husband's stomach fluttered with nerves, but he nodded resolutely. This was what he'd been working towards all day. It was time to step out into the world as his true self. Rosa linked her arm through his, giving it a reassuring squeeze. "Remember," she murmured as they approached the door, "you're my best girlfriend now. Just be yourself and have fun." With a deep breath, the husband stepped out into the cool evening air. The click of his heels on the pavement sent a thrill through him, a constant reminder of his transformation. As they walked down the street towards the restaurant, he felt eyes on him. But instead of the judgment or ridicule he'd feared, he saw only appreciation and maybe a hint of envy. One man even wolf-whistled as they passed, causing Rosa to giggle and the husband to blush furiously. "See?" Rosa whispered. "You're turning heads already." The maitre d' at the restaurant greeted them warmly, complimenting both ladies on their attire as he led them to their table. The husband's heart swelled with pride and gratitude. He was passing. He was being seen and accepted as the woman he felt himself to be. As they perused the menus, Rosa reached across the table to take his hand. "I'm so proud of you," she said softly. "Thank you for sharing this part of yourself with me." The husband squeezed her hand in return, unable to find the words to express his gratitude. This day had been beyond his wildest dreams, and it was all thanks to Rosa's love and acceptance. As they sipped their wine and chatted about their day, the husband felt a sense of peace wash over him. For the first time in his life, he felt truly whole, truly himself. And with Rosa by his side, he knew this was just the beginning of a beautiful new chapter in their lives together. The evening progressed like a dream. The food was exquisite, the wine perfectly paired, but what truly made the night special was the easy camaraderie between the two of them. Rosa regaled him with funny stories from the spa, while he shared his experiences of the day's transformation. "I still can't believe how different I look," he mused, catching a glimpse of his reflection in the polished silverware. "It's like looking at a stranger, but one I've always known was there." Rosa's eyes softened. "You've always been beautiful to me, darling, but seeing you like this, so confident and radiant, it takes my breath away." As they finished their dessert, a decadent chocolate mousse, Rosa leaned in conspiratorially. "So what should I call you when you're like this? We can't keep using your regular name, after all." The husband paused, considering. He'd thought about this often, but had never dared to voice it aloud. "I've always liked the name Evelyn," he admitted softly. "It means wished for child. I guess that's how I've always seen this part of myself, something longed for but never fully realized until now." "Evelyn," Rosa repeated, testing the name on her tongue. "It's perfect. It suits you." From that moment on, he became she for the rest of the evening. Evelyn found herself relaxing into her new identity, her mannerisms becoming more naturally feminine as the night wore on. As they left the restaurant, Rosa suggested a walk through the nearby park. The cool night air was refreshing after the warmth of the restaurant, and Evelyn reveled in the feeling of the breeze on her bare legs. They strolled arm in arm, their heels click-clacking in unison on the paved path. The park was quiet at this hour, with only a few other couples enjoying the moonlit evening. "I can't thank you enough for this," Evelyn said, breaking the comfortable silence. "I never thought I'd have the courage to do this, let alone have your support." Rosa stopped, turning to face her husband-turned-wife. "Evelyn, darling, you don't need to thank me. Your happiness is my happiness. Seeing you like this, so free and joyful, it's all I've ever wanted for you." Tears welled up in Evelyn's eyes, threatening to ruin her carefully applied makeup. "I love you so much," she whispered. Rosa reached up, gently wiping away a stray tear. "I love you too, in all your forms, man, woman, or anything in between." Their lips met in a tender kiss, and Evelyn marveled at how different it felt with the slick glide of lipstick between them. When they parted, Rosa's lipstick was slightly smudged, and Evelyn couldn't help but giggle. "What's so funny?" Rosa asked, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Nothing," Evelyn replied. "It's just, I never thought I'd be the one leaving lipstick marks on you." They both burst into laughter, the joyous sound echoing through the quiet park. As their mirth subsided, Rosa took Evelyn's hand, leading her towards a secluded bench beneath a weeping willow. "So," Rosa began as they sat down, her tone turning serious, "where do we go from here? Is this something you'd like to do more often?" Evelyn took a deep breath, considering her answer carefully. I think I would. If that's okay with you, of course. I know this is a big change for both of us." Rosa nodded thoughtfully. "It is a change, but not necessarily a bad one. I've always known this was a part of you, even if we didn't talk about it much. And seeing you tonight, how happy and confident you are, I want more of that for you. For us." "Really?" Evelyn asked, hardly daring to believe it. "You'd be okay with me dressing like this more often?" "More than okay," Rosa assured her. "In fact, I have a proposition for you." Evelyn raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh. How would you feel about working at the spa?" Rosa suggested. "We could always use another set of hands, and it would give you a safe space to be Evelyn more regularly." The offer took Evelyn's breath away. To have a place where she could freely express this side of herself, surrounded by supportive people, it was more than she'd ever dared to hope for. "Are you sure?" she asked, her voice trembling with emotion. "What about your staff? The clients?" Rosa waved away her concerns. "Mary, Veronica, and Kim already adore you. As for the clients, well, they come to us for transformation and relaxation. Having someone like you on staff, someone who understands the power of embracing your true self, could be incredibly valuable." Evelyn's mind raced with the possibilities. She imagined herself greeting clients, offering facials and manicures, all while living authentically as Evelyn. It was a dream she'd never allowed herself to entertain, but now it seemed within reach. I don't know what to say," she stammered. "This is so much more than I ever expected." Rosa squeezed her hand reassuringly. "You don't have to decide right now. Take some time to think about it. But know that the offer is there whenever you're ready." Evelyn nodded, overwhelmed by the love and acceptance radiating from her wife. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the moonlight filter through the willow's drooping branches. Evelyn leaned her head on Rosa's shoulder, inhaling the familiar scent of her perfume. "We should probably head home soon," Rosa said eventually, stifling a yawn. "It's getting late and these heels are starting to kill me." Evelyn chuckled, flexing her own aching feet. "I'm amazed I've lasted this long in these torture devices. How do you do it every day?" "Practice, darling," Rosa replied with a wink. "Lots and lots of practice." As they made their way out of the park and towards home, Evelyn felt a mix of emotions swirling within her. Excitement for the future, gratitude for Rosa's unwavering support, and a touch of sadness that this magical evening was coming to an end. But as they approached their front door, Rosa turned to her with a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know," she purred, running a finger down Evelyn's arm, "the night doesn't have to end just yet. I've always wondered what it would be like to make love to a woman." Evelyn's heart raced at the implication. "Well," she replied, her voice husky with desire, "I suppose we'll just have to find out together." As they crossed the threshold into their home, Evelyn knew that this was more than just a night of dress-up or role-play. It was the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one filled with love, acceptance, and the freedom to be truly, authentically themselves. The door closed behind them, shutting out the world and all its judgments. In the privacy of their home, Evelyn and Rosa could explore this new facet of their relationship, discovering new depths to their love and passion. As clothes were shed and inhibitions abandoned, Evelyn marveled at how different everything felt. The soft brush of Rosa's hair against her newly smooth skin, the gentle caress of feminine hands, the meeting of painted lips. It was all familiar, yet thrillingly new. Their lovemaking was a dance of discovery, each touch and caress revealing new sensitivities and desires. Evelyn found herself responding in ways she never had before, her body alive with sensations she'd only ever dreamed about. Afterwards, as they lay tangled in the sheets, Evelyn felt a profound sense of peace wash over her. She was exactly where she was meant to be, in the arms of the woman she loved, finally able to be her true self. "So," Rosa murmured, tracing lazy patterns on Evelyn's skin. "Have you given any more thought to my offer?" she replied. "And I think I'd like to give it a try." Rosa's face lit up with joy. "Really? Oh, darling, that's wonderful. We'll start small, maybe just a day or two a week at first. See how you feel?" As they drifted off to sleep, Evelyn's mind was filled with visions of her new life. She imagined herself moving confidently through the spa, helping other people feel as beautiful and empowered as she did now. It wouldn't always be easy, she knew. There would be challenges and obstacles to overcome. But with Rosa by her side and a supportive community around her, Evelyn felt ready to face whatever came her way. This was more than just a makeover or a night of dress-up. It was a rebirth, a chance to live authentically and embrace all aspects of herself. As sleep claimed her, Evelyn's last conscious thought was one of profound gratitude for Rosa, for this opportunity and for the courage to finally be true to herself. The journey ahead would be an adventure, filled with ups and downs, laughter and tears. But Evelyn was ready for it all, eager to step into this new chapter of her life with open arms and an open heart. As the first rays of dawn peeked through the curtains, Evelyn stirred, momentarily disoriented by the unfamiliar weight of the wig on her pillow and the feel of silky lingerie against her skin. But as the events of the previous day came flooding back, a smile spread across her face. She turned to look at Rosa, still peacefully asleep beside her, and felt a surge of love and gratitude. This amazing woman had not only accepted her, but actively encouraged her to embrace this part of herself. It was more than Evelyn had ever dared to hope for. Careful not to wake Rosa, Evelyn slipped out of bed and padded to the bathroom. She stared at her reflection in the mirror, taking in the smudged makeup and tousled wig. Even in this disheveled state, she could see the woman she'd always known was inside her. With a deep breath, she began the process of removing her makeup, marveling at how different it felt to take it off, rather than secretly put it on. As she worked, she thought about the day ahead, her first day as a part-time employee at Rosa's spa. They'd agreed to start small, with Evelyn working just 2 days a week to begin with. Today would be mostly training and orientation, learning the ropes of the spa's operations and getting to know the regular clients. As she finished cleaning her face, Evelyn heard movement in the bedroom. A moment later, Rosa appeared in the doorway, wrapping her arms around Evelyn from behind. "Good morning, beautiful," Rosa murmured. "How are you feeling?" Evelyn leaned back into the embrace, meeting Rosa's eyes in the mirror. "Nervous," she admitted, "but excited. It feels right, you know." Rosa nodded, giving her a squeeze. "I know, and you're going to be amazing. The clients are going to love you." They shared a quiet breakfast, Rosa offering last-minute tips and encouragement as Evelyn's nerves began to build. Finally, it was time to get ready. Evelyn took extra care with her appearance, wanting to make a good first impression on the clients. She chose a conservative but stylish black dress, paired with comfortable low heels. No need to torture her feet on the first day. As they drove to the spa, Evelyn's stomach was a knot of butterflies. But Rosa's steady presence beside her was a constant source of comfort and strength. "Remember," Rosa said as they pulled into the parking lot, "just be yourself. That's more than enough." Evelyn nodded, taking a deep breath to center herself. "I'm ready," she said, more to herself than to Rosa. As they entered the spa, Mary, Veronica, and Kim greeted them with warm smiles and excited chatter. Their enthusiasm was infectious, helping to ease some of Evelyn's nervousness. "All right, ladies," Rosa announced, clapping her hands to get everyone's attention. "As you know, Evelyn will be joining our team on a part-time basis. Let's show her the ropes and make her feel welcome." The morning passed in a blur of introductions and training sessions. Evelyn absorbed as much information as she could, from the spa's booking system to the proper way to fold towels. Her background in customer service proved invaluable, allowing her to quickly grasp the importance of creating a relaxing and welcoming environment for clients. As lunchtime approached, the spa began to fill with clients. Evelyn's heart raced as she greeted her first customer, an elegantly dressed woman in her 50s. "Welcome to Rosebud Spa," Evelyn said, proud of how steady her voice sounded. "I'm Evelyn. How may I assist you today?" The woman smiled warmly. "Hello, Evelyn. I'm here for my weekly massage with Veronica." As Evelyn checked the woman in and directed her to the changing area, she felt a surge of confidence. She could do this. She belonged here. The rest of the day passed in a whirlwind of activity. Evelyn assisted with everything from answering phones to restocking supplies, always with a smile on her face and a spring in her step. The clients seemed to respond well to her, many commenting on her friendly demeanor and attentive service. As the last client left for the day, Evelyn let out a long breath, finally allowing herself to relax. She'd done it. She'd made it through her first day as Evelyn, out in the world, interacting with strangers who saw her as nothing but the woman she presented herself to be. Rosa approached her, beaming with pride. "You were wonderful, darling," she said, pulling Evelyn into a hug. "How do you feel?" Evelyn considered the question for a moment. "Tired," she admitted with a laugh. "But good, really good, like I finally found where I belong." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.